Hi, I'm Doug, and these are Wycliffe's words. The first and most important thing to remember about this series is don't panic. True, this series is based upon the language and the vocabulary of a text that was written in Latin, translated into Middle English in the 1300s. But it's not a dry, scholarly seminar, quite the opposite. These are short, light-hearted devotions based upon the Wycliffe New Testament. Let me tell you how they came about. I've always been fascinated by language and linguistics. Several years ago, I was doing a study of the history of the English language. And I got really caught up in Middle English, the language of Geoffrey Chaucer and John Wycliffe. And I got a number of books, and I was doing research online. And I decided that if I really wanted to learn this well, I'd better put it to use. And so I thought about it, and I decided that I would do my daily devotional reading out of the Wycliffe New Testament. Well, that was easy because I just happened to have a copy of my own. I've had it in my library for, 30 years, just sitting there. And then about 3 years ago, when I retired and we downsized drastically because we were becoming full-time nomads, I gave away 99% of my library. I tell you, many tears were shed that day. But I kept my Wycliffe New Testament. I don't know why. I had no inkling that I would be doing this project at the time, but I took it with us on the road. And so I decided I would do my daily devotional reading out of Wycliffe to brush up on my Middle English. And I'd read a passage each day, and I'd say, Sally, listen, this is so cool. And I'd read her a passage, and I'd say, can you believe the way that word has changed over the ages? Or isn't it fascinating the way he uses a simple compound word, and it makes us think of this whole passage in a different light? And I kept doing that, and eventually I said, you know what? I ought to write some of these observations down. And that gave me the idea I ought to write a book. I could see it in my head. Wycliffe's Words, 365 daily devotions based on the Wycliffe New Testament. Yeah, right. I got as far as 52, and it became Wycliffe's Words, 52 weekly devotions based upon the Wycliffe New Testament. And so here I had my book all written. And then came the hard part. How do you publish it? Well, I had some ideas. I had some ins and so on, but that became a stumbling block for me. I kind of set it on the back burner for a while. And I started thinking about alternatives to publishing a book. And I said, I've got some experience in YouTube channels. Why don't I create a Wycliffe's Words YouTube channel and just post a new devotion every week? And it's a lot more work, but it would be fun. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm taking my thoughts on the Wycliffe Bible, and let me clarify here. In my devotions, I talk about Wycliffe's words and what Wycliffe said. But we know that Wycliffe was not the only translator of the Wycliffe Bible. He had other translators and editors working with him, but he was the driving force. It was his passion to bring the Word of God into the English language. And so, just for convenience sake, throughout these devotions, I refer to Wycliffe as the individual. And we just need to understand that I'm talking about the Middle English language at that time as personified by Wycliffe. So, each week I will post one devotion each Sunday, starting with January the 5th. Happy birthday, Lily. And then every Sunday after that throughout the year. I hope you enjoy them. Like I said, they aren't heavy, they aren't hard, they're just things that I saw and went, Hope you enjoy them. Oh, and let me just give you a little teaser here. Out of all the 52 devotions that I've written so far, there's one special devotion that Sally just really, really dislikes. And because I love her so much, I'm going to start with that one. Hope you enjoy it more than she does. I'll see you next week.